Hey everyone, we are spending the day in Montreal and we want to take you along with us to everything that we do for actually our day trip here from DC. That's right, we actually left on a flight this morning at 6 a.m. and we're flying back tonight at what, 8?
We're at 8 p.m. Yeah.
So, a little bit crazy. I'm excited about this adventure, but we want to show you everything that we do today. And by the way, this is my friend Maddie.
Hi guys, I run On the Move with Mad on Instagram and TikTok, and I actually do a lot of these day trips. I call them out and backs, and it's kind of just a fun way to see a new city for the day.
I am so excited because I've never done an out and back, and especially to somewhere like Montreal. Like, who knew that you could do a day trip internationally?
It's so cool. This is actually my first international day trip out and back. I normally do it domestically, so I'm really excited to have Royal along for the ride with this. I think it's gonna be so much fun.
Me too. Okay, we can't wait to show you everything that we do. So starting at the airport, I arrived to DCA at 4:55 in the morning because our flight was scheduled for 6, and this was supposed to be a day trip, so all I brought was my purse and didn't have any bags to check. I met my friend Maddie at the terminal, we grabbed some coffee, and then we were quickly in the plane and off to Montreal. The flight was super quick. The actual in the air time is less than an hour and a half. Then we went straight through customs. It was super easy and automated. And then we hopped in an Uber straight for Old Town to get the day started. We just got to Montreal and we're going to our first stop, which is called La Cave à Manger, for some breakfast. So cave à manger means an eating cellar in French, which means that they also sell wine in addition to being a bakery. However, it was before 9 a.m. for us, so of course we just stuck to croissants and coffee, but the food was amazing. I really recommend trying this place if you're in Montreal. Now that we've had some breakfast, our first stop of the day is going to be to the Notre de Montréal, which you can kind of hear is under construction right now as we speak. Despite the noise outside, we were about to walk into a complete sanctuary. Notre de Montréal is truly one of the most beautiful cathedrals I have ever been to. This style is known as Gothic Revival, and fun fact, Notre Dame de Montréal was actually inspired by La Sainte-Chapelle in Paris, which if you've never been there, looks like this on the ceiling. I'm sure you can see the resemblance. But despite the stylistic inspiration from Europe, this was also a uniquely Canadian cathedral, with paintings and stained glass depicting Indigenous people of Canada, as well as other Canadian symbolism like the maple leaf incorporated into the art. Notre Dame de Montréal is a must-see if you're visiting Montreal. Next up, we're gonna do a 2-hour walking tour of Old Montreal, which we booked with Get Your Guide. Let's go! This walking tour was such a great way to start the day because it gave us a good overview of the neighborhood, and our tour guide Simona was really knowledgeable, even giving us advice for what we could see later in the afternoon and things we should come back to. All right, so what did you think of the tour?
It was awesome, so informative.
And now, honestly, I'm getting pretty hungry, so how about we stop for some lunch?
Perfect.
All right, after a quick stop for some food, we're now heading over to the Montreal Ferris Wheel down by the port before we head over to a boat tour. We booked the tickets for the Ferris Wheel ahead of time, and maybe it was just because we were here midweek, but there was no line. We got to walk straight up to it, and we had the cabin all to ourselves, which was really nice. It was also really well air conditioned, and the views were absolutely amazing. I do think this is also a great way to see Montreal. We then walked only a few minutes over to Le Bateau Mouche River Cruise that we had booked, which shows the views along the St. Lawrence River. We sat on the upper deck at first to get some better views, but ended up going downstairs because it was so hot that day. If we came back, I think it would be really fun to do this as a dinner cruise. It is like 90 degrees out today, and so after that boat ride, we really needed to cool off a little bit. It was air conditioned, but honestly still pretty hot. So we decided to hop into the Bonsecours market, which has a bunch of like cute little shops and restaurants, and we'll show you what it looks like.
And it has a water fountain.
Yes, very necessary right now. We didn't spend a ton of time here, but we did walk through and check out a few of the shops. This would be a great place to get souvenirs. And of course, they have tons of maple syrup themed things. Also, if you want a map of Old Montreal, they have them here in English and French, so perfect place to stop. Now that we had a chance to cool off in the market, we only have a couple of hours left before we have to go to the airport. So we're just gonna keep it chill, probably grab a beaver tail. If you've ever tried one of those, let me know in the comments, and maybe do a little bit of shopping. So when we were on our walking tour earlier, our guide suggested going into this little artisanal shop, and she said that there's also an historic courtyard. So I'm gonna go in and check it out. It looks really cool. The shop itself was pretty small, but you walk straight to the back and it opened up into these art galleries and other shops that then went into this pretty alley. It was a fun little find.
And now it really wouldn't be a trip to Canada if we didn't get some
Beavertails.
The decor here was really cute and very over the top. We decided that we wanted to try 2 different flavors. So we got a banana and Nutella as well as the maple flavor because of course we're in Canada. And I cannot tell you how good these were. And it was a perfect little afternoon treat. So definitely try them if you're coming to Canada. We still had a little bit more time to kill before heading to the airport. So we decided to check out some bookstores, and it was fun seeing all of the children's books in French. So this might be a good place to pick up a gift for someone who is teaching their kid French. We finally hopped in our Uber back to the airport at 6. Traffic was pretty good until we got to the airport, then it was pretty backed up, but customs was fast and we still had time to hang out in the Air Canada lounge while we waited for our flight.
Made it to the Air Canada lounge. I love being a Star Alliance partner because I get access whenever I do international flights with a +1.
It's so nice.
We grabbed some rosé and some of the food, which was actually really good for lounge food, and then went to go sit down by the windows with a view of the planes taking off.
Okay, so what did you think of today?
It was great. My first international day trip, which, as you know, I call out of backs. It was very easy. My biggest worry was customs, but customs was easy, very fast getting into and out of the country. So very seamless.
Yeah, I agree. I've actually never done any kind of out and back before. What
did you think as your first day trip on a flight?
Oh my god, it was so fun. It was so fun. It was perfect.
Would you do it again?
Oh yeah, like I feel like we did so much stuff. It's also nice to be like, I'm gonna be home in my own bed tonight, to be honest. And the flight was super easy. It was super fast. Customs was easy too. Like honestly, I'd love to even come back to Canada with you.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we could potentially hit up another city.
Yeah, maybe Toronto or something.
That'd be an easy out of back.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. So until next time.
Or so we thought.
Okay, hang on. What is the text that we just received?
Our flight's canceled. This is the last flight out.
Passengers on flight Air Canada 882 type that has just been canceled to Washington.
We don't have any luggage.
We have no clothes.
This is all we have. This is all we traveled with.
I don't even have another pair of contacts.
Oh, neither do I.
I did bring my glasses actually.
I don't have a phone charger.
I can use my brick, I guess, solar power.
Let's go find some sun.
Let's go find some sun in the middle of the night. This is an out and overnight in Mac.
Where are we gonna stay? Should we stay at the airport?
Great idea. Fantastic idea for the plot. I really thought for a second it was uncanceled.
No, they're just telling us to not forget.
They're just saying get out.
They're saying don't talk to us. Days of my lifetime, this is the first time she's ever done one, and of course, it's your fault. It's your fault.
And I came because I live in the city, but it's like
There you go.
it's just like.
When did you come? A couple days ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a normal person.
Also, where are they taking us?
We ended up walking back through security and found the Star Alliance Gold customer service line, which saved us a ton of time so they could help us rebook our tickets.
Okay, so it's 9 o'clock. We finally got our rebooked tickets. Also, I have to say, this worked out better than I expected. We originally got rebooked on flights getting in late tomorrow, and then Ahmad with Air Canada, by the way, give him a raise if this is his manager watching, came in and saved the day, got us in coming in as early as possible so that Maddie can make it to a family commitment that's really important to her.
And also, I just have to say, Roya was speaking French and managed the situation so beautifully. I don't speak any French, and I don't know what they were saying, but all I know is that we were supposed to be getting home at 10 p.m. and now we're getting home at noon tomorrow. So fingers crossed, everything goes well, but thank you to both of you guys for saving the day.
Happy to do it. And since we have to be back here by like 7 a.m. tomorrow, we decided to just go with the Marriott hotel that's in the airport.
Like, we're literally walking there. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, I don't even think we have to go outside. Like,
I think
okay.
I see a sign.
Yeah, look at this.
We're right here.
How are you feeling now that we have our hotel?
I think my biggest concern is just like the lack of clothes, the lack of phone charger, and the lack of toothbrush contact situation. But I'm hoping that the hotel will help us figure some of that out.
Yeah, I feel like Marriott, often they'll have like extra toothbrushes and stuff, so we can just ask. All right, we made it.
Okay, so the concierge just came up and brought us some toothbrushes and toothpaste, so at least this is a start. I'm really happy that we at least have this. And if you don't know this, if you're traveling and you go to a hotel and you forgot some of your toiletries, sometimes they have some stuff like this, even like razors sometimes, or other little things, so you can always ask. Really happy that we have toothbrushes at least. We're finally in our hotel room, and now I think it might be time for a glass of wine and then bed, probably.
Yes. Let's do it, guys. Spirits are high. Body odor is also probably high right now.
So we went to the hotel bar and there was actually a live band playing. So even despite the drama of a flight cancellation, we ended up having a really nice evening, a little glass of wine and live music in the hotel before heading to bed. Okay, finally in bed. Good night, Maddie.
Night.
Sweet dreams. See you for our 8 a.m. flight tomorrow.
6:30, wake up.
Back at it again. The next morning we woke up overlooking the airport and walked straight into the terminal and then back to the Air Canada lounge for some breakfast. And while I was a little bit afraid that we might get stuck again, we did not. Then when we landed in Ottawa, we had to go through customs, but that was also really quick and I had some time to look at souvenirs and decided to buy this giant thing of maple syrup. And before we knew it, we were finally flying back to Washington, D.C. Overall, it was a super fun experience, and despite the cancellation, I would absolutely still do it again.
Bye.
See ya!